If your Shopify brand is somewhere between $1 and $5 million a year, you've hit one of the most awkward decisions in the whole business: the agency question. Big agency or boutique. And it's awkward for a specific reason. At this size, you're in between. You're too big to keep doing everything yourself. You need real help. But you're too small to be a priority at a large agency that's built for enterprise spend. So you don't fit cleanly into either world, which is exactly why the choice is hard and exactly why it matters more here than at any other stage. I've been on both sides of this. I built and ran a Shopify brand to 10 million as the operator, so I've been the person making this call with my own money. And now I run a shop that's on the other side of it. So I'm going to give you the honest version, including the cases where a big agency is genuinely the right move, because sometimes it is. If we haven't met already, I am the digital avatar of Steve, the founder of e-commerce agency Working Digital. While he is helping Shopify brands scale with AI, I am here to keep you up to date with the latest AI strategies for e-commerce. Steve reads every comment, so make sure to drop one below. Here's what we'll cover: what a big agency is actually good at, what a boutique is actually good at, where each one quietly fails a brand your size, the specific signals that tell you which you need, and the new factor that's scrambling the whole question: AI shopping. By the end, you'll know which side of the line you're on. Let me give the big agencies their due first, because they have real strengths and the boutique crowd likes to pretend they don't. A big agency brings scale. If you need to run paid search, paid social, SEO, email, creative, and analytics all at once, a large agency has a specialist bench for every one of those. You're not relying on one or two generalists to be great at everything. They bring depth in each channel. The person running your Google ads at a big shop might do nothing but Google ads all day across dozens of accounts. That accumulated, narrow expertise is real, and for a complex channel at high spend, it matters. They bring process and infrastructure, reporting systems, quality control, account management, the machinery to coordinate a lot of moving parts without things falling through the cracks. When you're spending enough that the operation is genuinely complex, that machinery earns its keep. And they bring pattern recognition from volume. A big agency has seen hundreds of accounts in your category. They've watched what works and what fails at scale. And that data is an asset. So if you're at the top of this range, pushing 5 million and climbing, spending heavily across many channels, and you need that breadth and depth coordinated, a big agency can be exactly right. Their strengths are real. The question is whether your business is big enough to actually use them, or whether you're paying for capacity you can't yet fill. Now, the other side. A good boutique has a different set of strengths, and several of them matter more at your size than the big agency advantages do. The first is senior people actually doing your work. At a boutique, the person on your account is often the founder or senior operator, not a junior manager 3 layers down. For a brand your size, that's huge. You get experienced judgment applied directly to your business instead of a process run by someone learning on you. The second is coordination across the whole funnel. A small shop isn't organized into siloed channel teams that meet on a call. The same few people see your ads, your conversion, and your email together, so the whole machine gets tuned as one thing. I've made the case in earlier videos for why that integration matters, and it's easier to do well at small scale than at enterprise scale. The third is speed. A boutique can make a decision and ship a change this week. No layers of approval, no account management relay. When you're at a stage where moving fast is an advantage, that responsiveness is worth a lot. The fourth is aligned incentives. A good boutique can structure the relationship around your results instead of your ad spend, so you're not working with a partner who profits more the more you spend, whether or not it works. The trade-off is real, though. A boutique has less raw capacity and a thinner bench. If you suddenly need deep specialist work in 5 channels at once, a small shop can get stretched. So the boutique advantage is real, but it has a ceiling. But there's a part nobody in either camp wants to say out loud. Each option has a specific way it quietly fails a $1 to $5 million brand. The way a big agency fails you at this size is attention. You're a small account in a book full of much bigger ones. The senior people you met in the pitch are not the people running your account day to day. You get a junior manager and a process built for clients 10 times your size, and you're paying for overhead you don't need. You don't usually find this out until a few months in, when the results are average and you can't get the strategist on the phone. The way a boutique fails you is capacity. If you pick a small shop that's genuinely good but already full, or that's strong in one area and weak in another, you can outgrow them or hit a skill gap. A boutique that's great at ads but shaky at retention will leave money on the table on the retention side. So the risk with a boutique isn't attention. It's making sure they're actually strong across what you need and have room for you. Notice these are opposite failure modes. The big agency has the breadth, but not the attention. The boutique has the attention, but maybe not the breadth. Your job is to figure out which risk is more dangerous for your specific business right now. For most brands in the 1 to 3 million range, the attention problem hurts more than the capacity problem, which tilts toward boutique. As you push toward 5 and beyond, the calculus starts to shift. Here are the signals that tell you which way to go. Look at your monthly ad spend. If you're spending under roughly $50,000 a month, you're below the line where most big agencies do their best work, and you'll likely get more value and attention from a boutique. If you're well above that and climbing, a big agency starts to make more sense. Look at whether you need depth or coordination. If your problem is, I need world-class execution in one specific channel at high volume, that points toward a big agency's specialist bench. If your problem is my ads, site, and email don't work together and nobody owns the whole number, that points hard toward a boutique that coordinates the funnel. Look at how much senior attention you need. If your business is still figuring out its fundamentals, its offer, its positioning, its unit economics, you need senior judgment on the account, which favors a boutique. If your fundamentals are solid and you just need scaled execution, a big agency can run the playbook. Look at how fast you need to move. If you're in a phase where speed and iteration matter more than process, a boutique moves faster. If you need stability and rigorous process across a complex operation, a big agency provides that. Add those up honestly. For most brands at 1 to 3 million, the signals point toward a boutique with senior operators. Closer to 5 million with heavy multi-channel spend, the big agency case gets stronger. There's no universal answer, only the answer for where you actually are. There's a new factor reshuffling this whole decision, and it's worth its own moment. AI shopping. Shopping is moving into ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google's AI results, and being visible there is becoming a real channel. Here's what's interesting for the boutique versus big question. Most large legacy agencies haven't built this capability yet. They're excellent at the established channels they've run for years, but AI commerce optimization is new, and big organizations are slow to add genuinely new disciplines. So this is one area where size works against the giants. The agencies actually doing AI commerce work right now tend to be smaller, newer, and more willing to operate at the edge of a new channel. If getting into AI shopping is a priority for you, and at your growth stage, it probably should be, that requirement can override the usual size calculus entirely. In other words, you might choose a boutique not despite its size, but because of it. Because the small, modern shops are the ones who have actually built the AI commerce capability the big legacy agencies are still figuring out. That's a real shift from how this decision worked even 2 years ago, and it's worth weighing heavily. So here's how I'd make the call if I were you. Be honest about your spend and your fundamentals. If you're under about $50,000 a month in ad spend, still sharpening your offer and unit economics, and you need senior people who coordinate the whole funnel and can get you into AI shopping, a boutique with real operators is almost certainly your better fit. That's most brands in this range. If you're at the top of the range, spending heavily across many channels, with solid fundamentals and a need for deep specialist execution coordinated at scale, take a big agency seriously. And whichever way you lean, ask the questions that cut through the pitch. Who specifically works on my account and how senior are they? What number are you accountable for? How do the channels inform each other? Can you get me into AI shopping? The answers tell you more than the size of the logo. The worst move is choosing on reputation instead of fit. A famous agency that's wrong for your stage is still wrong for your stage, and a great boutique that's full or weak in your key area is still the wrong call. Decide on fit. If you want a clear read on where your store actually stands before you choose anyone, that's what our free audit is for. We map your whole funnel and your AI visibility and show you exactly where the gaps are. Links in the description. Next video, we get specific about one of those gaps, what an AI commerce audit actually includes, so you know what good looks like before anyone runs one on your store.